A part of what I appreciate about my experience and what I bring to my role as a director is I spent so much time outside of media. Like I worked in philanthropy. And when you work in philanthropy, you touch every component of what makes a urban center an urban center. So you really start to see, okay, this is how this works. This is how the political climate fits into what we're trying to do. Mm-hmm. This is how we come together around issues. So prior to moving to New York, having that experience, coming to New York, you realize, like, okay, it works a little differently, but in identifying the issues, I believe I know how, and my team, we know how to find them.
Mm-hmm. Can you give me a little bit of an analogy? Georgia's your base.
Yes.
But you've been here in New York since, what, 2006?
2006, yeah.
How do you compare, or are there a lot of similarities? Because I think sometimes when we look across, America, we find that there are some similarities, a lot of differences in urban neighborhoods, and in particularly some of these issues that you look to touch on. Mm-hmm. Are the issues almost the same all across the board? Do you find it?
Not at all. Not at all. Like literally, Georgia. I mean, there's so much about the South that's like a mystery to the rest of the country.
Everybody's moving there.
Yeah. But what you realize that when the red states are very, not red in a scary way, but they just don't view government as the solution of problems. And there's, to some extent, you don't even look to them to even try to solve issues. Because
wow.
And that is the difference that I think here. We really look to our political leaders to lead and be forward-thinking. Mm-hmm. And when you don't get traction, you get frustrated with them because they generally agree with you on these things. Mm-hmm. So that's when budget constraints and other issues come to the forefront. Yeah.
With city limits, over 500,000 people checked you out last year. Mm-hmm. What do you think is going to be the key into doubling that and tapping into that much larger market that is out there?
Yeah.
And I know you really want to reach.
Well, for one, the type of issues that we've expanded now to cover, and also we have different tools on our site that we believe engage a larger audience. We have a section called City Conversations where people can write their piece about an issue they want to write about. So tools like that are one small piece, but also expanding our outreach and our visibility. And the social media networks are a powerful benefit to how things can really happen. So if there's a great story that people really like and they really resonate with, then they share it with all of their friends. And you see all of that audience come back to City Limits. I mean, at the end of the day, we look at our school system and we know it doesn't work. The great thing is that no one cared about that in the 80s.
Right.
Like, literally, education was never really a political issue. Mm-hmm. But now it actually has become a political issue.
Right, and I thought we saw one of your highlighted pieces was about Geoffrey Canada, Harlem Children's Zone, Hope or Hype.
Yes. Well, the thing with Geoffrey Canada, and he has done some great work in Harlem, but our approach to that issue was the president wanted to put his political capital and expand that across the country, which is something he campaigned on. Mm-hmm. But at the time, no one had really done an in-depth analysis of what worked and what did not work. And what we essentially found is that it works really, really well where it works well in New York because New York has the investment money to keep it afloat.